Hey everybody, this is going to be a short live stream. Welcome to Zenny62. I'm late once again doing work. Um, NFL Combine was a day full of speeches. I saw the Mike Mayock and the Blind Forest speeches this morning. Uh, but then, of course, here I'm in Fayetteville. I'm in Georgia. And uh, not there, Fayette County and all that. Not there. And doing other work, had meetings, phone meetings, of course. Busy day. At any rate, as some of you may know, particularly those of you who are tuning in right now, Johnny Manziel has been released, has been given his walking papers by the Canadians. The Canadians have told him to skedaddle. He's cut from the Canadian Football League for an unknown reason that boils down to violation of his contract. My question to you is simply this. Should the Oakland Raiders go after Johnny Manziel, or will Kliff Kingsbury go after him? Now here's the backstory. Kliff Kingsbury was the offensive coordinator for the Texas A&M. That's right, the Texas A&M Aggies football team, coached by Kevin Sumlin, when Johnny Manziel quarterbacked that team to an amazing and dramatic win over the Alabama Crimson Tide in Alabama. Remember that? In Alabama. And now the same Kliff Kingsbury is miraculously and yet excitingly the the head coach, for your Arizona Cardinals. Now, Mike Mayock has stated that Derek Carr is definitely a franchise quarterback for the Raiders, but they will not turn away from talent. Johnny is unquestionably a talent, okay? He just needs to be in the right system. Now these opportunities open up. I do not agree that this new AAF football league is the right place for him because it has money woes. One guy that had to come in and bail them out, which means that they're rapidly burning through cash. Signing him is not going to help the situation. And something else that people tend to forget. Johnny was released by the Cleveland Browns March 11th of 2016. He wasn't put on any kind of suspension. He was not the focus of any type of punishment which ousted him from the National Football League. He simply didn't feel that he was going to get signed, and so he went back and tried his hand at Canadian football. And it worked for a while. But whatever happened, whatever happened to him, he's not there anymore. Rob Iman says Johnny is the third stringer at best. But Rob, consider this. The man who coached him best, one of the two, is now in the NFL. And will install the same system, basically, that Johnny ran in college. Think about it. Johnny has not had the luxury of playing in the air raid offense in the NFL. The first version of the Cleveland Browns, had put him in, unbelievably, a kind of read option system with, if you can imagine this, a pistol offense. Johnny didn't play in a true pistol. He wasn't a running quarterback. He was a passing quarterback who could run if he needed to. But what Johnny was stuck in Cleveland within that offensive scheme could be described with one word: stupid. He has not had the luxury of playing in the same offense he played in college. Now that opportunity, that possibility is opened up because of the existence of Kliff coaching the Cardinals. Now, to answer your question, ML, regarding, hey, Sean, how you doing? Regarding, to answer your question, ML, regarding his alleged cockiness, you know, I don't sense that's an issue. Okay, I don't sense that's something that um, I don't find that people. I don't know where that comes up as an issue. I don't see that as even an issue to discuss. I really don't. You want a quarterback who believes in themselves. I mean, why would you want a quarterback that's passive aggressive? You know, and what kind of society are we coming into anyway? Where dudes have to be passive aggressive to be accepted. Now, you want a guy that's cocky. You want that, not the other way around. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. So no, I don't think so at all. I think anyone who would be interested in Johnny Manziel is concerned with this question: can he run an offense at the NFL level? We've already seen him do it. So the next question is he plug and play ready? The only way to find out is to give him a shot. And I have to believe he has that in him. Yeah, I understand the power of perception, but you know, perception can be based on stupidity too. I'm sorry. I know my words. I'm not choosing carefully, and I'm being deliberately, if you will, blunt. But I just am not at all seeing where Johnny's attitude is a handicap. I'm not. I just can't see it, okay? So should the Raiders go after Johnny Manziel, or will the Cardinals get him? There's my question to you. Our Byman says he's disappointed the Cardinals may not commit to Rosen. But let me ask this question, all right? Look, you have a new coach that's come in, Kliff, new regime. A new coach wants a quarterback of his own. So which would you choose? A guy in Rosen who came up in a UCLA system, not your own, or a guy, Kyle Murray, who came up in a system very much like the one that you coached? And on top of that, you can bring in Johnny Manziel, okay? John says you see him playing the American Alliance. I don't see why why that's an advantage. Why? Why would he go, Johnny, just because somebody said it? Okay, why would he go there as opposed to? And I agree with you. I think he's that good. I think there are a lot of people who, when they think of Johnny Manziel, they have get head games into his attitude. It's almost like talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in politics. They can't get past her confidence and beauty, and that trips them up, you know? So it's really weird. He's confident. So what? I have enjoyed watching him play. And again, my issue, does anybody understand what I'm talking about when I talk about the air raid offense? Does anyone know what the air raid offense is? Just a quick explanation. Just someone write it down. I just want to know that someone out there is actually thinking about what I'm saying. Because there's too much fucking stupidity in this society today. I'm sorry. I just want people to think. I don't say you have to agree with me, all right? But just think, all right? Okay? I mean, I should have a whiteboard, and maybe I should just draw the thing out. I'm on a rampage this week, man. I'm just, I'm just seeing all this stuff around society, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Do you realize I had a guy? This is a momentary digression. Keith Dubkowski partnered with me as a blogger on my Sports Business Simulations website, and was a substitute teacher at Berkeley High in Berkeley. Told me a story of how one kid's parents sent, I think, the cousin over to Berkeley High to beat up the parents of another kid. I'm not making this stuff up. This was 2003. This is 2019. Society has gotten worse over that period of time. There is something freaking going on here that has caused us to fall out of love with the idea of thinking about anything. We want to react. We want something now. We want to, for example, bet, okay? There's something in the water. All right, that's my digression. Back to my main point. The air raid offense, all right? I love the air raid. And I love it because it is, other than the run and shoot, the closest form you're going to get today to pure passing. In fact, I'm considering just devoting a whole subsection of my website, my YouTube channel, to discussion of the air raid offense. And I have been, I've been a fan of the air raid offense for a heck of a long time. But at any rate, here is one acceptable definition of what the air raid offense is that Johnny Manziel played in, and that will be ran. By the Arizona Cardinals, and it really should be ran by the Raiders. I wanted the Raiders to hire Kevin Sumlin to install it because I think this is the closest thing to the classic Raider offense that exists today. I mean, the classic where you throw deep, right? Push the ball down the field, right? This right here. In American football, the air raid offense refers to an offensive scheme popularized by such coaches as Mike Leach, Hal Muhm, Sonny Dykes, the Cal, and Tony Franklin during their tenures at Iowa Wesleyan University, Valdosta State, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Louisiana Tech, and Washington State. Air raid offense. And here's an air raid offense play. And Sean's right. That's where the NFL is headed. That's all the pass interference. Can't touch the wide receivers anymore. And therein lay one reason among many why the Raiders, among other teams, should play different variations of the air raid offense. But I digress again. Back to this point. Well, it's not exactly a digression, is it? Bam. Okay. And so let's take a look at the images and the plays. I like to go straight for the jugular of the playbook. Here is one. And this is one ran by Mike Leach at Washington State. And basically it has this, you can see here, slot left, split in, runs across, but he reads. What he's reading, looking for in his read actually, is if the middle field is open like this, he goes up. If the middle field closed, he goes this way, okay? And you have both, and now take a look at this. You have the fullback. You see the numbers here, all right? And this is a college hashtag. You see these numbers? The whole point is to spread out the defense and create these holes by which you can throw, okay? And so that's one variation, one idea. Here's another. This is what's called shallow. Mofo is not what you think. It's actually, mofo is something I want you to remember, middle. It doesn't mean what you think it means. It means middle of field open. Middle of field open, mofo. Shallow versus mofo. So basically, in this instance, the split in is inside in this inverted slot, okay? And if the middle of the field is closed, the receiver runs the in pattern. However, if the middle of the field is open, boom, all right? Another variation. You have the shallow. Shallow means shallow cross. Shallow cross, okay? So this is the system, and I can go on and on and on and on with that example. But that's the system that Johnny Manziel played in. It is a system that my prediction is going to be very effective at the NFL level. The only worry I have with respect to the Cardinals is using the no-huddle portion and getting into that mistake that that Sonny Dykes got into at Cal, where it was basically 3 and out real quick because you weren't getting first downs. You give the ball back to a ball control system, and they hold on to the ball and they keep it away from you and they score, right? So you're basically giving the ball back to them fast. There's ways to get around that, all right? Sean Grogan says, I agree, Mike says, Sean Grogan says, that's where the NFL is headed. I got that one. Mike Arlene says, I agree, get Johnny. Thank you. And he says, Rob Iman says, next PIs in the end zone will be automatic TDs. Sean Grogan says, you may see a close version in Arizona, similar to what Kliff Kingsbury ran at Texas Tech. Sean, that's what I'm talking about. That's the offense I'm talking about, okay? Ugh, I said that. But anyway, Michael Arlene says, we need a mobile QB. Carr is a statue in the pocket. Gruden has begged him to use legs. But Michael, my criticism of the way John has ran his offense is that by design, the quarterback is a sitting duck. You can design in those rollouts, okay? Let me show you just a quick example of what I'm talking about. Just by sprint pass. Sprint, it's called the, old trusty sprint pass I formation, okay? I'm typing this in Google just to show you how prevalent this system is, to the point where I can type this up and all I have to do is go to images and bam, okay? Here's the bam, all right? This is quick, all right? See that? Common flood concept, but sprint, all right? Okay? All right? So, but Rob, mobile quarterback means different things, okay? That's not a good example there. This is a good example of sprint pass out of the shotgun. Spread out passing game, okay? Because of the internet, there are all kinds of, this is the flex bone. There are all kinds of variations of offense right here online. Here's one out of I formation, okay? Sprint pass Rob, okay? All right? So my point is that, well, Michael, what I'm saying is that I'm not talking about Carr using his legs to improvise, okay? Anytime a quarterback has to improvise in a system, that reveals the problem in the system's design. A quarterback should be able to get done what the quarterback needs to get done without changing the play in a way that's outside the design of the play, for a specific reason that, look, it's hard to, you can categorize them, of course, but your data winds up being all over the place. A smart design is, if he has to improvise, say, okay, what did he have to do that we didn't consider, and then you design in that provision. Let me give you an example. Do you realize the draw play that was created by Blanton Collier when he coached the Cleveland Browns was based on an accident? That's what I'm talking about. But Collier, intelligent man, realized, hey, I've got an idea where I can fool and I can slow up a heavy pass rush. Hence the draw play, all right? You see what I'm getting at? That's the kind of intelligent thinking that we need today. All right. Okay, that's the kind of intelligent thinking that we need today. So, all right. So, and that's really it. John, I'm not changing the subject. Okay. So, okay. So, but to answer your question real quick, I saw that. I informed him of, and I talked about that the other night, which I think you may have missed. I already addressed that. But I didn't mention a name because I happen to like Steve. I did tweet him and say, hey, did you see this missing rebar? All right, so I've already talked about that, and I kind of don't want to rehash that. And you probably missed the segment where I talked about it. All right, moving forward. Completely forward, and coming to the discussion of Johnny again in the air raid. All right, Sean says Carr needs to use his legs like Gannon. Gannon wasn't a running quarterback; he just used them to get out of trouble. Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback. But my point is, do you understand the concept of designing a run? In other words, designing a provision to run in a play. I mean, I just showed you all that. And what you're talking to me about, and this is why I get angry, is, and I'm just being honest, like I do get angry about this because it's a way of thinking that maybe I should be more forgiving, but I would love for my audience to be more savvy in the discussion of football strategy, because no one is talking about how you make a quarterback do something. There's a difference here. You make a quarterback do something. You don't just get a quarterback to do something. Like, for example, someone says, well, Lamar Jackson's a running quarterback. Lamar Jackson is a pocket passer. Lamar Jackson's problem is you have people in the NFL who are stupid, who see that he's black, and therefore, oh, he must be a running quarterback. Oh, yeah, he can run. But that dude's got an arm. And what you want to do is design something like Darrell Bevell would have designed for him, like it was designed for Russell Wilson. A system where the option of running is there, but it's based on throwing. Because someone, I think, on the NFL Network made this observation today, said that the same lanes that you throw through are the same lanes you can run into. And so you put the defense in a quandary if you have a capability of running. So they say, hey, look, do I stop this lane and pursue you, or do I go back and give you the opportunity to run? In order to create that scenario, you have to properly design a passing play to allow that. All right. Michael's getting it. Michael says, okay, we can call more bootlegs or rollouts. Bootlegs, rollouts, sprint passes, like I just presented here. All right. Sprint passes. Okay. And they're all over the place here. Get in love with football strategy. All right. Please stop saying the player does it. It's the coach. All right. Because then you understand the power of coaching. The power of getting a player. Watch this. These plays are all over here. They're all over the place. Okay? At different levels of football. Fall in love with this stuff, folks. This is the essence of football. Play calling. This is the flex bone, sprint out pass. You see that? Okay? These are designed in. I'll bet you if some of you saw them, you would say, oh, he's a running quarterback, when in point of fact, he was instructed to do what I just showed you. Think about it. Draw your own plays. Test your knowledge. Even if you make a mistake, try it, okay? Try it. Be smart here. We need more smart people. Seriously. Okay? You guys can do it. All right. Getting back to your comments. Jay Will says, mobile quarterbacks are the future. Pocket passes are becoming a thing of the past, especially with teams moving safeties to linebacker and DNs running 4.4 and 4.5 40s. You know what? That is, that's the comment of the night. True words have never been spoken. True words have never been spoken. And so you see in all of this is why I say that Johnny Manziel is ready to come back to the NFL. The only question is whether or not he will. I don't know. Again, what do you all think? Should the Raiders, by why yes or an in no? Michael says, this is a good question. I love this question. Do you think Carr can execute bootlegs if these plays are called? Yeah, I do. I really do. I think that, now getting back to the other question, Sean says no. He says that the Raiders should not go after Johnny Manziel. He says no. I, however, say yes. Okay, so Joseph Hernandez says no. So you have 2 no's and a yes. John Acala says no. So there's 3 no's and a yes. Question is, should the Raiders go after Johnny Manziel? I say yes. Rob Iman says no. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 no's to my yes. And the question continues. Because I had one other person who said it was a good idea, but I guess maybe he's since texted. Well, maybe not. There are 19 people here. There's only a few of you. Okay. Who else? Johnny Manziel, yes or no? Michael Line says yes. So you have 2 yeses, 3 yeses. Alexis says yes. She says, listen to this. I love this. Alexis Ramirez. She says, look, yes, are you kidding me? This is the kid who took down Alabama in 2012. The kid is a winner. Thank you. Thank you. All right. John Collins would rather go after Bridgewater. I get you there. I get you there. It's a good idea. Joseph says, if we were going out for Johnny Manziel, I'd rather go after Colin Kaepernick. Ding! I get you. Hey, all great suggestions and all great alternatives, okay? And I'm not going to pick Manziel over Bridgewater or Kaepernick by any stretch of the imagination. However, I would like to bring him in for a tryout. I want to see where he's at, you know, because he's available, okay? And I like Kaepernick too. But my question, I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. But Manziel, it just feels sweet. So ML says yes. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 4 yeses. We have me, Alexis, and 4 yeses to 5 no's. Yeah. And Donis, and I guess Donis, Donis as usual comes out as an abstention. Donis is the real Al Davis. They used to call Al Davis Mr. Abstention because he would abstain from voting all the time. Donis says, it depends. So anyway, Alexis intelligently reminds us, this is the kid who came back from a huge deficit to beat Duke in the Cotton Bowl. Ding! Rob Iman says, Warriors lose to Miami. Oh, man. Streaky team. Great most of the time, but then they have those games where they're just a little off. I don't know the details behind that one. Joseph Amenderas says, I think that would be fair. Did you touch on the substance abuse or drinking issues? That's still an issue. I didn't directly, Joseph, and it's a great question. I'll try in the back of my mind when I said that Johnny was released March 11th of 2016 was the fact that he wasn't released because he had a substance abuse problem. He had a shoulder problem, an injury he was recovering from, and he just didn't get a tryout once he did. So he just said, I'm going to go the Canadian route. So it wasn't for any NFL problems he has. And Michael's right. Gruden loves Johnny. Lissette, hey, Lissette. Lissette says, hey, guys, bring Cap. Gotcha. And so the question would be, yeah, bring in Cap. No objection there at all. However, I am simply asking because Johnny, it just seems like the right opportunity for the Cardinals. And again, I go back to Kliff Kingsbury, okay? And I'm going to show this, since it hasn't come out before, I'm going to show this Kliff Kingsbury Kliff Kingsbury photograph or set of photographs for those of you who may not have seen these photos, okay? John says, I guess it wouldn't hurt Raiders to bring in Manziel for a camp tryout. Right. That's all I'm saying. Try him out. See where he's at. See? So there we go. All right. Kingsbury and Manziel. All right. All right. And then look at that. Baker Mayfield and Kingsbury, okay? Case Keenum will be another backup for Oakland. So you've got some possibilities here. That's Kevin Sumlin, all right, who is his mentor. Kevin Sumlin was the head coach of Texas A&M. He was the offensive coordinator, all right? That's Kliff Kingsbury as the new head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Can't wait to meet him, all right? So Corey Brown says, we need somebody in camp to challenge Carr. Yeah, and I think that Johnny Manziel could be that person. Of course, Colin Kaepernick could be as well, but there's a reason, they're not. I mean, the realistic, sad, realistic fact is that right now, he's not in anybody's camp. It's sad, it's ugly, it's nasty, it's smelly, but as they say on the street, and I hate this term, but it is what it is, okay? It really is, and it's a sick thing that should change. And I do like the idea of Rob Iman presents his Case for Case Keenum, because Case is a great West Coast, Bill Walsh offense quarterback. Alexis also adds, don't forget, Griffin loved Manziel coming out of college. Yep. And Sean Grogan says, rather have Fitzpatrick as our backup from the Buccaneers. I'm not excited. I'm not excited about Ryan Fitzpatrick. No. You would rather have Ryan Fitzpatrick as a backup over Johnny Manziel? I'm sorry, I can't sign on to that. I have nothing against Fitzpatrick, but he gets tired and starts locking in on receivers. Next thing you know, we've got an interception problem. You can design in mobility for him to get around the fact that he's not mobile. And so that would be a fun project to do. He's a fast learner, a heck of a veteran. So there's an upside to having him on there. But I'm saying, given the intangibles that Manziel brings, I'd rather have Manziel. Alexis says Gruden, right? Joseph Mandura says, I knew what you meant, Alexis. Joseph Mandura says, speaking of Arizona, did you hear how the general managers for controversy by suggesting that Rosen is their quarterback right now, may have said that he was implying after Mary? I think that's, you know what I think that is, frankly, is someone reading too much into what somebody else says. There's a lot of that. Well, he's our quarterback right now. If I said that, okay, for example, let's say, okay, well, he's our quarterback right now. Now, if I say that, I'm only stating a fact. He is our quarterback right now. It doesn't mean that he's not going to be our quarterback in the future, but he's our quarterback right now. Now, maybe I want to have that statement back given how you interpreted it, right? But what I only stated a fact. Right now, he's our quarterback. Now, is he going to be our quarterback for the, foreseeable future, like, 5 years from now? I don't know. Okay. It all depends on how it was stated. Now, if I had said, he's our quarterback right now. Okay. Lisette says, Johnny would be a better fit with the Cards. Yeah, I think so. With Kingsbury, I really do. All right, folks. Hey, John Gruden is coming on in the morning, so I'm going to stop this live stream. So I got to finish some other things up, get ready for tomorrow, because John Gruden comes on at 9 in the morning. All right? So I'm going to go out. See you all tomorrow evening. And thank you, as usual, for the extremely valuable feedback. Fantastic group of people you are. Oh, I'm sorry, Alexis. Alexis, you said, can I respond to your comment? I thought I did. You said your last comment here. Look at this, Alexis. You got this one, all right? And then you said Gruden. So I did. I thought I did respond to your comment. Maybe I'll go up. You're saying go up a bit. All right, hold on a second. Let me go up a bit more and find out where I'm at here. You said, don't forget, Griffin. You meant Gruden loved Manziel coming out of college. Yeah, and I said, yeah, I knew what you meant. I said, yeah, right, I did. So I've got all the bases covered. Do I think the Raiders draft a quarterback? Yeah, I do. Now, the question is which round? Oh, Alexis says scroll down. I did. So anyway, you know what? Why don't you just restate what it is? How about that? Before I go out, okay? Alexis is starting to feel like somebody other than Alexis. Okay? So if that's the case, Alexis, if you don't post what your question is, I'm going to have to block you, because you're starting to feel like somebody else I didn't want here before. Okay? Now, Rob Iman says, watch horror movies, keep America strong. John Akala, good night. All right.